is Trisha and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to put together this light and airy floral wreath. Alright, so for my supplies I'm going to be using these wreaths. I have this one is about a 12-inch diameter wreath, and this one's about 9 inches. Now I could just use one wreath, but I felt like this is going to be a little too small for what I want to do, so I'm going to go ahead and add this one as an element to it, and then I'm going to decorate it as one item. So that's why I'm using both of these, but you could just use one. I've got these flowers here. These are spring flowers, but I'm going to go ahead and use them. I think they're very pretty. I love the colors. They coordinate with other items that I have in my home. And then I've got some greenery here. So of course you choose whatever you want to put onto your wreaths. I have some ribbon here. This is like a burlap ribbon. It's a cream colored. You can choose, of course, whatever ribbon you want to use that'll coordinate with your florals. I happen to have a thinner ribbon right here, but I'm also going to use it as a burlap. Now, where did I get these items? Well, this one here, I happen to grab it from Hobby Lobby, this particular ribbon. This one is from Target, from their little dollar spot item there. Now, some of these items I purchased some time ago, so you may not find these exactly, but for those of you who are might be asking where I got these from. These are also from, no, these are from Hobby Lobby right here. But this one here is from Michael's. That was from their spring. It was on a clearance, so that's how I got that. And these were a gift to me from one of my subscribers, who is now a dear friend of mine. She gave me some items that she cleared out from her craft room, and these were included in the items that she gave me, so I'm going to go ahead and use them. So Mary, thank you very much. I have a little nest here that I purchased, and it was in a box. And I think it was, I'm not sure if it was Valentine's or spring, that I got on clearance from Hobby Lobby. And it had some other colored eggs, and I took them out. And I'm going to go ahead and replace it with these just ivory colored, little solid colored ones, rather than having tricolor in there. And then in my little bird collection, I happen to have this one little bird. And I think this is probably from the Dollar Tree, but you can find items like that, you know, also at my Hobby Lobby's, Michael's, Walmart, anywhere they have craft supplies and floral supplies. I'm going to be using my hot glue gun. I'm also going to be using my scissors. I'm going to be using wire cutters, and I'm going to be using some floral wire. This particular floral wire that I have here is a 26 gauge. You can use 22, 24, 26. Any thin wire will do. You can use chenille stems as well. Alright, so let's get to crafting. Alright, so I'm going to take this thinner ribbon, and this is completely optional, and I'm going to just loosely wrap it around my wreath, like so. So to start it off, I'm going to add a little bit of glue, and then just attach this little end here, and then just let's grab this again, let it dry first, and then we're going to wrap it around, and every so often I can add a little bit of glue so that the ribbon won't move around on me. Okay, so I'm just going to loosely wrap it, and by loosely I mean like I'm not going to like wrap it around like right next to each other like that. I'm just going to keep it open like that. So maybe I should say open rather than loosely, because it's a little bit tightly wound around. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of glue, like I said, in little spots, just to hold it so it doesn't unravel on me while I'm going around. Put some more glue here. Okay. At some point, I'm going to stop because I am going to cover it with flowers. So I don't need to completely put this all the way around. So I'm just going to save myself some ribbon. So I want this to be a very airy looking wreath. Actually, I can cut off a little bit more. All right. So that's all I'm going to add to that one. So now I'm going to take my other wreath and find a little spot where I want to attach it to. And then I can take my floral wire or chenille stems. Of course, my floral wire, I'll need to cut it to size. And then I'll wrap it up where they meet. And then just twist the ribbon nice and tight. You might have to put two pieces in the same spot. And then I'm going to take the ends and I'm just going to kind of tuck them into the wreath so that they're not poking outward. Okay, and then you can add a little bit of glue in there to help attach them. Alright, so now that I've got that part attached, I'm going to attach them over here with a wire in the same way, and then I'm going to use a little bit of glue. Alright, so I've attached the smaller wreath to the larger one in this spot. And this is the area where I didn't cover it all the way with ribbon because I want to put flowers here. And the reason that I didn't wrap this up first before attaching it to this one, just like I wrapped this one first, is because now that I wrap it with ribbon, I want to make sure that I go over where the wire is and I cover that up. So I'm going to start right about right here because I know there's going to be flowers here and that'll cover right here where the ribbon starts. So just got some glue there. And let's just cover that up. And we'll do the same thing. Bring it around loosely, but I want to make sure that when I bring it around through here that I cover this wire. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that I do want to put a bow right here. So there's going to be flowers right here, maybe a couple here and a bow right here. That will help me cover that wire. So I just want to make sure that this wire that I'm bringing actually does not go over around the big wreath, just a small one here. So right here, it'll cover the wire in here. You can see it here, but like I said, I'm going to put a bow right here. So this will basically end right about where this other end started. So I can go ahead and trim it there. Turn this around. And then just put glue on top of this one. And stick it together. Okay, so I'm just going to let that dry. And any little ends that are popping up, I can glue them down or just trim off. Okay, so there we go. And I'm also actually kind of directing this a little bit to one side. As you're looking at this will be the top, okay? I'm holding it so that you're looking at it so that this is the bottom and this is the top. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start with some of my flowers and then we'll make the bow and then we'll add the nest and the birds. Okay, so I have cut up all of the stems from the bush and I've just cut them at their longest point because I don't know that I'm going to use all of these flowers, but I'm going to go ahead and already have them cut so they're ready for another project, and then I'll cut my greenery. All right, so before I do start adding my flowers, I'm going to go ahead and decide, because I told you that I want this off to the side. This is the top of my wreath. So I'm going to take some more of this wire, this floral wire, get a nice long piece, about 12, 14 inches, and then fold it in half and then just kind of twist it so that you have a doubled up piece of wire. Or if you're using chenille stems, you don't have to do this. Just cut a nice maybe 7 or 8 inch piece. So I'm going to turn this over because this is going to be the top of my wreath, and I'm just going to go through under one of these little things here, the little branches, little wood branches that are going across like that, and then I'm going to just twist them nice and tight, and then I'm going to take just the ends and make a little loop with my finger and then twist those ends together, the folded end and then the loose ends, fold them together. And I've already poked myself a couple of times with the ends of the wire here. So just be careful when you're doing this. Put all your little wires together. So now you have a little loop back here where you can hang it from when you put it on your wall or door, wherever you decide to hang this. And this is just a little bit off to the side. You can have it straight if you want. You can have it overlapping a little bit more right up here if you want. Place it wherever you like if you decide to do this double wreath look. Okay, so let's add some flowers. I'm going to add a nice big flower. So I'm going to take this one. Let me take the little tag off, which is still hanging on for dear life here, a little piece of it. Okay, so I'm going to push these leaves up because I'm going to go ahead and use those. So that's all I did, is just push them up. And I don't need the stem to be that long, so I'm just going to cut off. And then I'm just going to bend it. And I want to put that flower right here. So I'm going to put glue on the stem and then tuck it. You know, just stick it into the wreath, into it. Just kind of like stab it basically. Put some glue there. And then just push it into the wreath. There we go. And then I can add more glue under here, the petals. So that attaches to the wreath, and then it won't move from that position. That's my first flower. And I'll pick another one. This one here. Let's see, this one has some leaves on it. So I'm going to choose this one. I'll remove some of the leaves and then just push up the other ones. Again, cut it short. Bend. Add glue to that. And then just tuck it into your wreath. And if the flower's flopping one way or another, well, then just glue it, you know, the little petals down onto the wreath. So I'm going to keep adding some flowers. I think I'm going to add another one of these big ones way up here, and then I'll fill in with these smaller ones. There we go. Had to find a spot where it wanted to slide in. There we go. Okay, so I'll keep adding flowers. There we go. Keep adding. Okay, so I'm not going to add flowers all the way around this way because I don't want to make this heavy. I want it to be light and airy. Alright, so now I'm going to make a bow that I want to add right here, and I'm not going to make it very big. So I'm going to use this other ribbon that I happen to have. It's very light, it's very nice. Okay, so I'm going to use a piece of wire. So I've already cut that. It's about 12 inches or so. You can use a chenille stem, use the whole length of a 12-inch chenille stem. And we want this to be long enough not only to tie around the bow once we've made it, but to tie around the wreath, either down here or both of them, but nice long piece. Okay, so we're just going to take a little bit because I don't really want a really long tail on this, just a little one. And I'm going to twist where I want my length, make a loop. And now I can't make a very big loop with these because this is a very lightweight ribbon, and if I was to make a big loop, it's just going to, you know, flop down on me like that. So I'm going to make a nice little tight little loop, pinch it and twist it, and I think I'm going to do 3 loops, not very much. And I'm just going to cut it at an angle there, put my wire around it. Now I poked my finger, so I used a piece of felt that I happen to have near me because I can't find my band-aids, and I cut a little strip and wrapped it around, and then I used hot glue to seal it. So there's a little tip for you if you have a piece of fabric laying around nearby. Okay, so now I've got my little bow made here. It's just 3 little loops, and of course my 2 tails, and then I've got some wire here, which I'm going to use to wrap around the, I'm going to use it to wrap around the bigger wreath down here so that I can kind of bring it into the corner there. And then just twist the ends. And again, be careful with those ends because you can poke yourself. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there so those little ends kind of stick down. Okay. Let me turn this around so you can see what I did inside there. You can see that. Okay, so that's just that. And we have a bow right here. Nice and pretty. Now I was debating if I wanted to use another big flower or just use some of the smaller flowers. And I like the idea of using the smaller flowers, so that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to take one of the leaves off of this one because I feel like it's just a little too much. Tuck that one right in there. Alright, so my camera cut off on me, so I don't know if you saw where I explained after adding the little bow. I had this other bigger flower which I could put over here, but I felt like maybe I was going to add a little bit too much weight over here, and I didn't want to do that, so I just added a smaller flower there. And of course I'm going to add some of these, the yellow and then the little green berries. So, the little yellow flowers right next to it. I feel like I need to use that other little yellow flower to put between this flower and the bow. There we go. I'm going to slide that leaf under the loops of the ribbon. So there we go. We brought in some of the flowers across. And now we want to attach our little nest here, and I'm going to add my little nest right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach a little piece of wire here, so I can wire it down right here. So just cut a piece of wire. Let's get that little egg so it doesn't fall off the table. Okay. And then I'm just gonna, you can either feel in there and just bring up some of them little pieces and then slide your little wire through there. And then before pushing it back down, push some glue in there and then just press that back down to make sure you're not taking, it's not gonna fall apart with what you just did. So we're gonna let that dry really well, and then I'm gonna go ahead and attach it right here to my smaller wreath. Okay, so as you can see, I've turned my wreath with this back side up so that I could go ahead and see where I'm tying this wire on my wreath. And then I'm going to also put some glue down here to make sure that the nest does stick to the wreath as well. Okay, so I quickly turned it around and now I'm just angling the nest so that it's like so, and rather than being straight like that, I want it angled and holding on to the side of the wreath. So we're going to put some more glue in there, make sure it's holding on and staying in place. And we'll let that dry. Alright, so as I'm letting the nest dry, I'm going to go ahead and add the little eggs in there. So I'm going to add 3. So I'm just using my hot glue gun, adding them right in there. Gotta keep that looks. Okay, so now I'm going to add some of this pretty greenery, and I'm going to cut a stem from here. Now I don't need them to be quite so long, so I'm actually going to be cutting them like right above like a leaf or something like this dangly leaf. I'm going to cut right above that. So this becomes one little branch and this becomes another one. Now I do like the idea of it hanging off a little bit, so I'm going to trim this here now, and I add glue right to this little end here. Oops, there we go. And then I'll tuck it in like right underneath here in the bow. And then I'll let that kind of come around the nest here, and I want it to be coming around the front of it, kind of coming off the off the bottom of it. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue. Just stick that onto there. Okay, so you just maneuver your greenery as you like it. I'm actually going to cut this one into 2 more branches and add another one up here, and then a couple within those. Okay. Get this fuller one. In here. And then just direct the leaves. Okay, I feel like I need just maybe one more down here. Yes. Okay, add some glue to this. And then tuck it in somewhere. And there we go. If you feel you need more greenery, go ahead and do so. I thought that would be it, but I think I'm going to add a little bit more. And one more piece right here, and let that kind of just dangle off right there. I think that's enough. And it's a really pretty green, so I think it contrasts really well with the colors that are on the flowers. That looks very pretty. So the last thing I want to add to my wreath is my little bird. So I'm going to add some glue. And I think I'm going to put a little bird up here. Alright everyone, I have completed my wreath. Now you'll notice that I went ahead and I added a flower right here and then a little cream one. Those are the two flowers that I had left over and I didn't really see any use for them, so I decided to go ahead and put them in here. I felt that adding this flower kind of balanced off these other larger flowers up here on the top, and it didn't take away from its lightness or its airiness. Okay, now considering how small my wreaths are, I probably could have chosen some smaller flowers to put on here. So just pick your flowers according to the size of wreath that you're going to use, or whether you're going to put 2 wreaths together, or maybe even 3 wreaths together to create something like this. I'm really very happy with it. I love the colors. It's very springy, so it is up to you what choice of colors you are going to use, or for what season you're going to use. But I think it's a great idea, putting these items together and creating something a little bit bigger when you don't have the size that you would really want. Alright everyone, I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up, and I hope that you too will give me a big old thumbs up. And please leave a nice comment down below and let me know what you think of my little wreath idea here, and if you'll be doing the same idea, or if you have any other ideas that you'd like to share with us, or if you have any suggestions for some further video crafts that you would like to see me do, please leave them in the comments down below. You can also follow my Facebook page, Trisha's Creations, and you can leave your comments there as well as suggestions. You can also leave pictures of items or recipes even that you have created and share that with everybody else. Alright everyone, thank you all for subscribing, and if you haven't already done so, please hit that red subscription button, and then you'll see the little notification bell, so you want to hit that also so you'll be notified of when I put up my videos, which is twice a week. Now this week I may only have one video because we are going to be going out of town, so this might be the only video for this week, but we'll see. Alright everyone, thank you so very much. Share on your social medias, and as always, enjoy.